first to 6 for a place in tomorrow's final against Kyron Wilson. Let's hand you over to our boys in the box, Joe Johnson, and first up, Dave Hendon.
Good evening, everyone. Great atmosphere inside the Barnsley Metrodome for the second semi-final of the English Open. England versus Scotland.
Cameras away now, please.
Anthony McGill.
Thank you.
Was introduced to this charming man by the Smiths, but he might go out tonight if he doesn't take the game to Ronnie O'Sullivan, because O'Sullivan's played the best snooker of the tournament. And he's looking for his 43rd World Ranking Event final appearance.
Well, when I commentated on this young man the other day, he refused quite a lot of long shots. And refused another one there. And I don't think you can do that with O'Sullivan. I think you've got to try and make something happen. He loves people to play safe against him. Could have took that one on. He could only have left the red he was playing on. Well, he might just decide to go into the reds here. He could play for the red directly above the black. As you see, this long red that he potted. Excellent red. Full length of the table. Cue ball dead under the cushion.
Looking for his first world ranking title since the Welsh Open, February 2016. But right from the start of this tournament, he seems to have played well. Of course, there's all the drama with the foot injury. He's still got the trainers on, but he's played superbly this week.
And his trademark shot here, leaving the cue ball short on the red, so he can bring more reds into play.
Played
it with a trace of reverse side to take the cue ball towards the blue, finishing up on the pink. I'm sure Anthony McGill will want to play a good safety game against O'Sullivan.
21.
But it's not going to work just with the safety. He's got to take balls on himself.
Yes, and if he's going to play
22.
safe, he's got to be safe. Can't leave pots on.
Oh, massive kick. A massive kick. Look at this again. Jumped up in the air, and that's affected the position. And that was a good shot. Cue ball being close to the cushion. Forcing it round the two angles for this red to the middle. Surprising miss.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 37.
But no damage done.
No, I guess it was a symptom of the, or result of the kick that left the cue ball there. Wasn't right on the black, didn't get right on the red. 37 then, first chance for O'Sullivan. Anthony McGill, as has already been said, has lost to this man 5 times in 5 meetings. I don't think, though, you know, a lot has been made of the comments he made that I can't beat him. Imagine if he'd gone in the studio and said, I'm going to bash him up. everyone would say then, how arrogant, how delusional. I don't think, you know, but what people say really has that much bearing on what happens out there.
Yeah, I agree. It's always best, especially for the lower ranked players, not to big themselves up too much when talking about Ronnie O'Sullivan, John Higgins and company. Always best to put the pressure on your opponent. But I'm sure he'll want to give it as good a shot as he can. And he'll think he can win. Wouldn't be there otherwise. Ronnie O'Sullivan looking at the possibility of a 3-ball plant. But concentrating on that cue ball, making sure that he got the safety and he's got the snooker. I'm sat right behind the line of the shot, and I can see that. You can't see this red directly below the cue ball. Sullivan watching every move, seeing what kind of a shot he's going to play. He could play the 2-cushion escape. I think that's what he's playing. Trying to hit the reds thin, send the cue ball back to the balk area. Nicely played. Very nicely played. He gave it a lot of thought.
O'Sullivan described McGill as a mini Steve Davis. Of course, they're playing for the Steve Davis Trophy this weekend.
Oh, was that a good rub off the red? It certainly was, because he mishit that one, caught it too thin.
Yeah, and he's got good position as well. Is this red going in? Flick off the red. A slight wave of the hand by way of apology.
Well, Anthony was talking about he'll need a bit of luck. Well, the last thing he wants is Ronnie O'Sullivan to have some.
And McGill had played such a good shot, that 2-cushion escape.
3.
But as we know, snooker can be a very cruel game.
Four.
An interesting shot he played there. Could have played for the other red, but
11.
he wanted to take this red away, so the black would go into this pocket.
12.
And now with a 49-point lead, he's got the balls at his mercy.
$19. 20.
Need another red and a colour after this black to secure the opening frame.
$27.
He's high. Oh. I thought he'd missed that. But just the black needed.
$35.
So a moment of fortune got him in for this winning contribution in the opening frame.
36.
Yeah, I mentioned the Steve Davis Trophy. If O'Sullivan were to win that trophy tomorrow, he would go past the great man in terms of ranking titles and join John Higgins on 29. Higgins went there, of course, winning the Indian Open early this season.
43.
So if he back level second, 7 behind Stephen Hendry.
44.
Delightful. Hurry up, ref. Come on. Wait for it. Wait for it.
50.
Ben Williams being put through his paces here.
55.
Won't need to go to the gym tomorrow
56.
after this. So the break ends at 62. It started with that fluke after McGill played a really good safety. Ronnie O'Sullivan runs through the opening frame of this semi-final. First to 6, remember, to reach the English Open final tomorrow. O'Sullivan leads McGill 1-0. First frame took just under 12 minutes.
So, good break off from McGill. And Sullivan looking at this long red, but not to pot it. Just to play safe off it, try and leave the cue ball on the black cushion. Now, can he get to this red by the middle pocket? If he can, it's a half chance, this. Well, we nearly got a peek at it. Yes, he can get there. Oh, well. He was off walking, and to be honest, I thought he'd potted it too.
Yeah, he thought this was in. And it had a good go.
Well, it actually went down the pocket, didn't it? And back up again. So long red to the corner. Beautifully struck.
Eight. 9.
Well, if he's gone too far past the red, he's still got the one over the middle.
16.
And he has.
$17. $22.
Just enough left-hand side on the cue ball to check it for this red. bringing more reds into play.
23.
He's overscrewed it though. Closer to the cushion than he would have wanted. This is now a tough black and tough to get position.
Ronnie
Well,
O'Sullivan,
you could
23.
see that the black was nearly straight. Look at this, it's nearly straight. That's how he was going to get position there. You'll never know. Sullivan, a little fortunate not to have left something more easier than this. This is very tight to the middle. And at that speed as well, he was asking for something. I thought, maybe drop it in, make sure of the red, play the blue into the corner. And I fancied him for it. That full stretch. Right-handed, so a little switch to left. Back to right again. Something about the shot he didn't like.
One.
Just the wrong side of the blue. And could play for the red, that's closest to the right side cushion. But easier to play for that red out in the open. He's overdone it slightly.
6.
He didn't think he could get that far. Finished up getting too far. So needs a good shot. That's overdone it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
That's a shot that Alex Higgins used to play a lot. Trying to hide the red with the blue if you miss the pot. And I don't think he's managed it. No, there you can see. Yeah, never easy to get that cue ball back up to the blue. If he'd have played that with screw and side, I would have fancied him to get back down the table, but he was trying to play it in a controlled way. And now he's left with this long blue and difficult to get to the next red. If it was straight, he could come straight back for the red at the back of the pack there. But it's not straight. And he'll settle for that. He's got the red to the corner.
6.
Just having a look to see where he would like to be on the black to get back down to the reds. Chose the blue and he's nicely on it. Well, that's an attacking shot he's played. And he's opened the reds up. And taken in the right sequence, they all go.
He's a very tough match player, McGill. He's been mentored by the likes of John Higgins, Alan McManus. He's had a tough run this week. Beaten Michael Holt, Lou Hyashin, Akani Song Sum Sawad, Yan Bing Tao. Of course, yesterday, Neil Robertson. Having a very consistent season. He was runner-up in the Indian Open, quarter-finalist in Riga, and at the World Open, and at the European Masters. Semi-finals of the six Reds as well.
Yes, and that's why he's in the top 16.
13.
He's on his way up, that's for sure. And everybody knows that they've been in the match when they've played Anthony McGill. Well, for me, he didn't come through far enough there. This is a
18.
little straight, so he's going to have to play this with a lot of topspin to try and get back to the blue. If it had left the cue ball a little closer to the cushion, it would have been easy.
$19.
He's played it well, though. Needs to keep running. Perfect.
Just to say, the act went low. Yeah.
24. $25.
Well, not quite straight on the pink, so he can play the cannon to the red. Had he been straight, he couldn't have got to a red. No. Has he nudged it enough, or
31.
can't he see enough of this red? No, he can't see enough of it. And he'll be disappointed with that. That was a really good chance. And sometimes it's all about the red that you play for. He had the shot on the blue to play for that red directly above the black spot. If he'd have played for that one, that would have released the other one into the right corner. And he could have played for pink or blue. Pink into the middle. And not the best safety shot. Cue ball well short of baulk.
Anthony McGill, 31.
Yeah, double disappointment. Firstly, that the first real good chance he's had in this match ends on 31, and then the safety not as good as he had hoped.
Yes, there is a pot on, too dangerous to take on to the left corner. But this one to the right corner was on. Played that cue ball into baulk just in case. He's got one of the best snooker brains ever. He sees the game so quickly, O'Sullivan. Caught it a touch thin, he needs a kiss. Now, can he see enough of the red behind the pink to pot it? Now, that's another good safety. This red is on to the left corner, but such a difficult pot. And the cue ball's going into the red nearest the cushion. So big risk. So no colour. Great pot. Terrific pot.
One.
Whether it was worth the risk or not, I'm not sure, but he's got it. Cue ball was always going into that red. Now what? Does he play the pink or the safety? Could leave the cue ball in the jaws of the green pocket. Could try and hide that red over the middle using the yellow and black.
Well, meanwhile, there is Liang Wenbo, of course, the winner of the English Open last year. And although he's been knocked out this year, he made that maximum the other day. So he's hoping, of course, that is not equal, because at the moment, he stands to win £42,000. He's a friend of Ronnie O'Sullivan's. He's here supporting him.
Has he covered the red?
Anthony McGill, 1.
Has he covered the red? Well, hard to say from there, but I would say that he could get it. Maybe with a touch of right-hand side on the cue ball.
One.
Well, he took the risk, Anthony McGill. And again, if he'd have played the cue ball into the jaws of the green pocket, he couldn't have left that shot on.
Crowds have been really good all week here in Barnsley, and guaranteed to be tomorrow.
Well, what a tough shot that was. And look at the positional shot. What a great shot that was from O'Sullivan. And look at where the ball's at. There's nothing safe.
Well, it's not hard to see why it's packed, because this is the man I'm sure most people have come to see.
6.
That's the same anywhere in the world. People sometimes complain that Ronnie's always on the TV table. Are you kidding? Because I tell you, if he was on table 3, all the crowd would be on table 3.
11.
Look at that crowd.
Yeah, and I can tell you the weather is foul here in Barnsley. It's really bucketing down outside, but people have made it through the rain to take their seats this evening. So McGill was in, he played again a safety that left a chance, and O'Sullivan looking for 2-0.
Yeah, the safety play has got to improve from McGill. Quick look at the scoreboard.
18.
See what he needs.
19.
Nice angle on the pink to play it for the yellow. Just needs the yellow.
Well, worrying
25.
signs here for McGill.
My apologies.
Yeah, yellow and green, but still worrying signs from McGill, because the
27.
safety game is usually so strong, and tonight it's let him down a couple of times. OK, O'Sullivan had the fluke first frame, but McGill knows he's got to tighten up really, because otherwise this could turn into a procession.
34.
Yes, tighten up for sure, but when he gets his chance, and it was a good chance that he had,
39.
he's got to take them. He's not going to get 2 or 3 chances a frame. And that's going to put him under tremendous pressure to score heavy.
45.
Yeah, O'Sullivan looks determined but also relaxed. It's a good combination in this sport. And he's won the second frame of the semi-final. As I say, the danger is he'll start to pull away and be too far in front for this man to catch. So Anthony McGill under early pressure because he's trailing Ronnie O'Sullivan 2-0. McGill 2-0. First to 6 to play Kyron Wilson in the final tomorrow.
Okay, McGill with the long red. And that's what he's got to do. He's got to play them, and he's got to get them. Great shot. And the crowd want a match here, so they'll be hoping he can win a couple of frames at least. We know how good he is.
Well, yeah, since Ronnie O'Sullivan won his last ranking title in early 2016, Anthony McGill's won 2. The Indian Open and the shootout. Not everyone happy with the shootout's a ranking event, but that's not McGill's problem. He won it. Of course, he's been in the Indian Open final this season as well, lost to Higgins.
Nine.
Left a nice angle on the black to play for these 2 reds into the left corner.
$16. 17.
His highest break.
24.
It's a 144. Never had a maximum. With 19 centuries last season, and that's no mean feat.
25.
Well, he's got the angle to go into them, but he's still got one more loose red that he can play for. It's not a good pack to go into from the black. Oh, but he took the opportunity to go
Anthony
into them,
McGill,
but
25.
he'll be so disappointed with that shot.
It's the cardinal sin, isn't it, on that shot, missing the object ball and getting the other part of the shot right, getting the reds open and not being able to benefit from it.
Yeah, and the thing is that O'Sullivan knows now that if he can punish him here, this will hurt, because this is an unforced error. He'll be thinking about that black. He'll be thinking about the last frame that he could have won. And when you've got your opponent thinking like that, you just want to give him a little bit more pain. O'Sullivan knows this, of course.
Eight.
Yes, he's learnt it in 25 years as a professional, Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's 24 years since he won his first ranking title, the UK Championship 1993, a few days before he turned 18. Many threats to retire down the years, but he's still going strong and still playing great snooker.
Nine.
Well, he's actually overdone that screw shot. But the red just below the pink will go to the left corner.
16. 17.
Well, he can play for numerous reds here. He's just working out which is the best one that will open the game up. And this one in the middle of the cluster,
24.
this is the one that opens things up. Took the harder red.
25.
And he's just overdone it again a little bit, but still numerous reds can play for. And I like the way that he plays for a couple of reds. Look
32.
where the cue ball is. He's got choice of red to the left corner, choice of red to the right corner. Could have played for just one of those reds, but decided to play for two of them. Switch to left-handed.
33.
Back to right. And now one-handed. Don't think so. What a talent.
39. 40.
It's amazing the fuss there was first few times that he played left-handed. He did it so in a match against Peter Ebdon in the Old Matchroom League, and of course famously against Elaine Roberdeau at the Crucible. It'd be different if he couldn't play left-handed and did it, but if he's got that skill, why not use it?
46.
It's a great thing to have up your sleeve, literally up your sleeve, in fact.
Doesn't need that safe red on the left side cushion.
$47.
Well, he just took a step back there because he wasn't sure if he'd hit it hard enough. But he has.
54.
And the two reds that are closest together, when he takes this red to the right corner, at least one of them's available to the middle and could be
55.
available to the left corner. The way he's played that shot, looks like the red's available to the left corner. And things just happen so quickly.
Well, he's checking the scoreboard. He needs red and black.
61.
And McGill needs a snooker.
62.
McGill, of course, missed the black, opening the reds. And it proved to be a big, big error. O'Sullivan has pounced.
69.
He looks in a mean mood this evening, ready to get the job done quickly. So the Scot has got big problems.
Played for the double.
We can show you the missed black,
77.
opening the pack, but forgetting the pot. Ronnie O'Sullivan has very swiftly made 77 to once again punish, and he's already halfway towards a place in the final tomorrow. Anthony McGill must win a frame before the interval, and that's coming up the other side of this break. Needs something before the interval, so it's got to start here for the Glaswegian, trailing 3-0. Alexander Ursenbacher had a great tournament, didn't quite get to the final, but my word, he made a name for himself. Lost out 6-3 earlier, of course, to Kyron Wilson.
Yes, and we all look forward to seeing him again sometime very soon. What's this? A safety shot?
The thing is, O'Sullivan is ahead on the safety stats. He's ahead on all the stats, actually. There you see it, 86%, plays 75.
He got a little close to the pocket, raised his hand, because that's not how he played the cue ball back to the baulk cushion. Caught the jaws of that pocket. Now he could play off the pack of reds, which I wouldn't advise, or play off the red next to the black. Problem is, he's got to hide those reds over the left side as well. Doesn't like it. Didn't want to send the cue ball back down the table. Well, he could be in trouble again here. Dead on the cushion behind the yellow.
Thank you.
Again, good speed. The red is on, but no way to get to a colour. Don't think he can drop it in for the black. Well, he was digging down into the cue ball there, and that would be a real tremendous shot if he got that one. Maybe wiser just leaving the cue ball on the black cushion. Waiting for a better chance. Well, decided to have a go. And where's that red going? Wow. It didn't really make that much difference because he got the cue ball where he wanted. In fact, it's probably not done him a favour going in. This is tough, the yellow, if he takes it on to pot it, and if he rolls it behind it, that's also tough. He'd have liked that red not to have gone in. Unless the yellow goes in, of course. Great shot. And great bottle as well to take it on.
3. Thank you. 4.
Well, he's on the black, but this is tough. The pot itself is tough, but getting the cue ball out for another red is even tougher. That's a super shot. What a great shot that was from Anthony McGill. At that speed into the corner pocket.
11.
Incredible shot. Oh, he's missed it. After that terrific
Anthony
shot
McGill.
with the black.
11.
And this is what he's been doing. Doing the hard work and then missing one.
So frustrated for McGill, missing a much easier pot than the one he knocked in previously on the black.
One.
So another unforced error. That's O'Sullivan in. And he's had chances in the last 2 frames and this one as well. It really could be 2-0 up.
8.
But only if you take your chance.
9.
Needs O'Sullivan to do him a favour now and not punish him.
16. 70.
Well, worrying time, certainly. As I say, this frame, big for him. To go into the interval 4-0 down would feel like a mountain to climb when they return. 3-1's not great, but at least to be on the scoreboard. O'Sullivan, though, still has to negotiate his green with the rest.
Didn't want the flick on the yellow there. And that's took him out of ideal position. He struck that so well. A little flick on the yellow. Another good recovery shot.
Twenty-six.
Well, he keeps getting them. And now is ideal on the black to go into the reds. Not too hard. And it'll be on this red to the left corner. And that split very nicely.
34.
This is really awkward cueing. It looks like he's got to bounce the cue ball off the cushion as well.
Good.
Wasn't easy.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. 34.
He was having a little chunter there as he went back to his seat. Could have left something easier than this, though.
I think he got a kick there, threw the cue ball wide and straightened the red up. Well, there's a chance here of bringing the red off the cushion, trying to get the cue ball in behind the yellow and brown. He does need that red on the left side of the table. Well, another little bit of luck there for O'Sullivan. That red could have been on to the baulk corner. Well, a really tough shot to the left middle. He takes it on, trying to leave the cue ball close to the cushion. No. And again, a good kiss on the red. That little flick there, sending the cue ball closer to the cushion. Did him a real favour. This red is still on to the middle, but it would have been a lot easier. Good pot, but not a good kiss. This kind of game suits Anthony McGill. He's going to try and do something to slow O'Sullivan down.
Anthony McGill, 1.
Well, he took the red on, but he tried to cover the red that's nearest the baulk cushion by using the yellow and brown, but hasn't quite paid off. His red is on to the baulk corner, but tough. And again, not a good kiss. Just trying to come round the back of that red. Finish up on the blue.
Anthony McGill, 1.
So frame 4 in the balance, O'Sullivan leads by 21. But crucially, of course, he also leads 3-0. This is, you feel, a bigger frame for McGill, the one before the interval.
Yeah, covered that red just below the green. That was the one to cover. That's what McGill did last time round. Now has he found a plant? Possible. Right in the middle. Great shot. Not on the colour, but in control. Now if you can just lay a good snooker here behind the brown. Try and cut off the left side of the table.
Anthony McGill, 1.
Now he's thinking of playing the 2 cushion escape, but he could come off the 2 cushions and just land up into the reds. Again, this is all about choice. Playing to land up into them. Good shot. Difficult to get the cue ball back down the table, so might just touch the reds, because if he plays off them behind the black, he can be in big trouble next shot. If he leaves the cue ball there, he's in trouble. I don't think he had much choice there but to play that shot. You can see things ticking over in his mind, can't you? He wants to keep the game flowing, and that's why he hasn't played the same shot. Bit of a difference when you're 3-0 up. You can afford to play this shot to keep the game flowing. McGill, on the other hand, he's got to keep everything tight. He couldn't afford to give the safety advantage away. He's considering taking that pot on, but it's very risky. If he misses it, he could leave that red on. That's a great shot again from McGill. He's got tremendous bottle, this young man. 3-0 down and taking those kind of shots on.
Well, if he wins this match tonight, this is where it starts, with that pot. We may well, who knows, look back on that in a couple of hours' time.
Yeah, exactly, because look what he'd left. He'd left a straight red to the right corner. So, but he's done this before in this match. He's got a good shot, got in.
6.
And hasn't punished, but this is another great chance.
Yes, imperative now that he really focuses hard and just gets this frame on that scoreboard heading into the interval.
7.
It's the longest frame so far, this one. Just over 20 minutes.
14.
Yes, we've been playing for just an hour. Such a crucial stage of the match, this.
15.
Well, I'll go so far as to say that he deserves to win this frame after knocking that red to the middle. Taking the risk.
Well, he won't do if he misses, I'm afraid. He's got to keep going. But yeah, you're right, it showed guts, that's the thing, and he's showing O'Sullivan as well that he can stand up to this, that he'll go for his shots.
21.
That he's not going to bow down. He's not going to lie down.
Yeah, he's probably giving himself a little bit of a kick because, as I said, he could have won the last 2 frames.
22.
And he knows it's down to him that he didn't win them.
$25.
So the yellow is the only difficult ball. And it's not really difficult. It's the only one that it could break down on.
$26.
Well, I played for the green, and that's not the ideal position. I thought he would have played for the blue there, because from the blue, he's guaranteed to be on the yellow. No, it's a little bit heavy. Wanted to be directly behind this yellow. So this isn't straightforward. 10 points the difference, so yellow, green and brown. Oh, it just crept in. And he's played a delightful cannon to the green.
This is a great effort. He was under such pressure coming to the table. He had a tough red. It was do or die, this. But it went in. And crucially, he's kept going. Ronnie O'Sullivan now needs a snooker. This is a great effort. Just what McGill needed going to the interval. Ronnie O'Sullivan has seen his opponent come to life at last.
Yes, I did say that this type of frame suited
44.
McGill. Quite a bit of safety in the game, and then knocked in a good red. And showing great character.
Yeah, he's still trailing,
50.
but at least he's on the scoreboard with a really good clearance. That's more like it from Scotland's Anthony McGill. I did say it was a must-win frame for him, and he's won it in style. Great red, great clearance. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan then 3 frames away from a place in the final as they head to the interval. He's leading Anthony McGill by 3 frames to 1.
Boys in the commentary box, Joe Johnson, and first up, Dave Hendon.
Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan looked very relaxed in the interval. He was just
25.
outside the arena
Ronnie
with
O'Sullivan
Liang
to win.
Wenbo and a few friends, just having a chat, keeping himself relaxed. He's in a strong position. Could have been stronger, though. Anthony McGill made that excellent 57 clearance to win the frame pre-interval to trail 3-1. Remember, the head-to-head between them is 5-0 O'Sullivan. And he hasn't lost in a ranking event semi-final for 5 years.
didn't want that kiss on the green, obviously. So an early chance in this frame for O'Sullivan. He'll want to keep his momentum going after winning that last frame. Now the problem here for O'Sullivan is the cue ball could be going into the red next to the black. That's why he's taking the other red on. Oh, what can you say? Terrific stun run through. Look at the cue ball here. Just runs through nicely for the black or pink.
Eight.
What he's doing there is just looking to see where he wants to play the cue ball to be able to play the cannon to the red next shot.
9.
I've got to be careful here because he could get the cover if he plays a gentle cannon. And this is the kind of shot that he really does like.
16.
Potting the red to the right corner, opening the reds up.
$17.
Didn't quite open as he intended. Just brought the one red out. Thinking about whether to play the black and go into the pack of reds. But this opens more reds as well. And again, that was another good shot. He wasn't directly behind the pink.
23.
But now, within the space of 2 or 3 shots, it's a frame winning chance.
Well, there's never been a better break builder, that's a fact. He's number 1 on the list of Centurions with 888 to his name. He's number 1 on the list of maximum men with 13 to his name.
$24.
Again, give himself a chance of 2 or 3 reds
31.
the way he played the shot. Could have played for the 1 red to the left corner. Played it with deep screw to come off the cushion and a little switch to left-handed.
32. $39. 40.
No need to go into the reds. He can win the frame with the loose ones.
$47. 48.
'So these 3 loose reds would be enough
55.
to leave his opponent needing snookers.
56. 61.
Just having a quick look at the scoreboard. 2 blues, pink and blue.
62.
Deliberately left it short on the blue so it can get to the red in a matter of minutes.
Well, it's 5.5 since he potted that great first red. And this red is frame ball.
67.
You'd want a colour from this red. It's 1 snooker at the moment. And it could have been better on the black. You don't fancy him missing anything.
$75.
And the only thing short
76.
in this semi-final is a century break.
So far had 6 this week. As I say, he looked very relaxed in the interval. He just stood
81.
chatting with Liang and a couple of other people and just filling time really until coming back out again.
82.
And he's been in that mood all week. He's been determined on the table, but off the table he has seemed good in himself, which is so important. Dr. Steve Peters was here earlier in the week as well.
$88. 89.
Well, all the crowd enthralled with this genius of the snooker table.
$96. 97.
Well, they're about to see this ball for the century. What a great break.
And they loved that one, didn't they?
105.
So McGill made that great clearance in the 4th frame, pre-interval, but has barely got a look in this frame.
Yeah, he played a safety shot and got the full ball kiss on the green. And Ronnie O'Sullivan knocked that one in.
170.
Yes, what he's done is raised his game
121.
to the level really he's been producing consistently this week. Had a great match with John Higgins. Of course, came past Jack Lazowski yesterday.
126.
Just looks serene.
Oh, what a way to get to the black. Left-handed. What a shot.
What a break. What a man. 139. Total clearance from Ronnie O'Sullivan to reassert his authority in this semi-final. He's 2 away from a meeting with Kyren Wilson tomorrow. He leads in some style by 4 frames to 1. He's got to try and keep O'Sullivan on 4 frames as long as he can, try and find a way back. But it's not easy when your opponent steps in and makes the sort of break O'Sullivan just did. A 139 total clearance to get to within 2 of a place in tomorrow's final.
And he's left a red sticking out. And he's left a red into the pocket. And look where the cue ball is. Just short the baulk line, nicely on a baulk colour. And that never touched the sides. This is relentless for Anthony McGill.
It's a bit like the rain outside, it just keeps on coming. And well, it never rains, but it pours for that man at the moment. Gave himself hope with that wonderful clearance he made in frame 4.
And just come a little too far for this red to the left corner, but has the one to the middle. May have to come through 2 cushions for the black.
5.
Played it well. And now he could go into them here. Just screw off them slightly. For this red, into the pocket. That's developed another one.
12. 13. 20.
Well,
21.
chose to play up for the blue to go into the reds. There's no doubt about that. That's what his intention was. He could have played for the black very easily there. And for the last red. But his plan is to open them up. And he's on one. And the reds have split nicely.
26.
He was just looking to white because it was still spinning.
$27.
And I really do like the way he pinches a little bit
34.
on the pocket to get positioned the next shot. That was nearly straight, that black, and he's managed to
35.
bounce off the cushion. Now we might see him just give those reds a little nudge. Not too much, because the 2 reds go to the left corner. Oh, he's missed the black.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 35.
He can't believe that. He's kicking himself on his way back to the chair.
Well, I don't think anyone can believe it. Some of the balls he's knocked in tonight. Well, that really is a lifeline for McGill.
And he knows it. He knows he's handed a lifeline. Can McGill take it? He knows he's good enough. And that's what's bothering O'Sullivan, because he knows that McGill is quite a good player. You don't get to be in the top 16 without being a great player. And he's given him that chance now. Turning points in matches happened. But you got to take the chance.
One.
So if he can finish just off straight, this red to the left corner, he'd be able to stun in behind the black. He'd want to get the black back on its spot as soon as possible. Needs to be just off straight.
6. 7.
Couldn't have played it any better. He got absolutely perfectly on the red. Maybe just bounced a little too much and a little switch to left-handed himself.
Well, it's an unexpected
14.
chance, but there's pressure on these clearly. O'Sullivan's missed once in this frame. No guarantee if he gets in again there'll be any further mistakes.
15.
Kiss on the blue could have been kinder. Could have finished up on the blue into the middle. Pink could be in the way if he takes the green. He's missed it.
Anthony McGill.
He's
15.
missed it, and he's left reds on.
Yeah, like I said, there was pressure on all of those. It's a bit like sort of walking across a frozen lake. You know, you might make it to the other side, or the ice might suddenly crack. And that's what's happened there, I'm afraid, for Anthony McGill.
One.
He's just a little bit upset because he's not closer to the black.
Ronnie
Well,
O'Sullivan.
on his knees,
One.
he's so annoyed by that. That was some reaction from O'Sullivan. Don't often see that.
Yeah, I did say that he was annoyed with himself not being closer to the black, and you know, that's two good chances from Ronnie O'Sullivan. This is just what Tim McGill needed, a let-off.
One.
Well, he's having a little mutter to himself. Just made a 139 last frame.
Again, another switch to left-handed. Could have done without the kiss.
8.
Well, it's got really interesting now, this frame. Fancied with the second bite at the cherry there, O'Sullivan would probably go on and win it. Not so. McGill just mindful of his pink.
Nine. $16. $70. $24. $25.
Won't need the difficult blue. Just working things out.
$32. $33.
Well, this started because O'Sullivan missed, and his reaction was interesting as well.
40.
Disappeared under the table. This frame could be disappearing. Yellow and green needed.
42.
Of course, he had got back in, having initially missed an easier ball. But McGill, as I say, needs this, and it's 4-2.
45.
A frame that brought the great Ronnie O'Sullivan to his knees. This is where all the work he's done with Dr. Peters and others may well rescue him. He's got to just look forward and not dwell too much on what's happened here. He's still in a healthy position, leading 4-2.
Anthony McGill.
So
49.
O'Sullivan concedes McGill has done what he has to do, and the next frame I think is really interesting. If he can win that as well, then we really do have a match on our hands. O'Sullivan still 2 from a place in the final, leading now by 4 frames to 2. You know where the plot is going. It takes a sudden twist. Who's to say what happened in that 6th frame could be the moment where this turns around? O'Sullivan getting frustrated, McGill getting another frame on the board. It's 4-2. O'Sullivan needing 2 still to reach the final tomorrow.
Well, I'm not sure if you can pop this red and stay on the black. Not sure of the angle.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Asking the referee, Ben Williams, for the extended rest. Big old frame, isn't it? If he gets to 5-2, 1 frame needed, heavy favourite. If McGill pulls another one back, it increases the pressure on O'Sullivan to close this out.
Thank you.
Yes, and the longer the safety goes on, the more it favours McGill, in my opinion. He needs that cue ball close to the cushion because this red is on. Too risky to take this red on, the cue ball going into the reds. No guarantee of position on the colour.
Not a long match this, an hour and a half so far. Average just under 15 minutes a frame.
Well, what a big risk that was. This had to go in, because look at the cue ball. It's gone into the reds, it's gone into the red full ball. Can't believe he took that one on, because it was such a risk. Could have lost the frame, and the gain is one. Nevertheless, still a great shot.
Anthony McGill, 1.
Followed it with a poor safety. He wasn't so much bothered about the pot as getting the cue ball back to where it is now. Using the angles of the pocket to leave red down this end of the table. He's got the bonus, he's got a snooker.
Audience fascinated by this battle. At one stage, 3-0 looked like it'd be an early night. Yeah, it always looked like pink.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
Back it goes.
Okay, sure. Can you bring it up for me, Martin, please?
They're going to just check on the still frame, so that's in the right spot.
That way?
Marty Royce is operating the heavy machinery down this end.
Okay.
Seems just about right. Fraction alteration.
Right.
Oh, that's got to be touching.
Touching ball.
Touching ball called, so he could play off the pink. How many players would have thought of that shot?
Sullivan, as you can see, ahead on the safety stats, 90% against 84.
Well, finished up nice. Slight raise of the hand.
Yes, he had a nice little wobble there in the jaws to send the cue ball towards that yellow. It's got very tense suddenly though, hasn't it? When he made that 139, it was kind of start writing his name into the final for tomorrow, but it's got a little edgy after those couple of misses from him in the last frame.
Well, what can you say about that one? That's a terrific shot. Now, does he have the angle on the yellow to come back down for the reds? He took one on more difficult than this before. And that's a nice angle. Good pot. And force that cue ball through the gap.
3.
He wants to take the red that's closest to the black spot. Because if he can get to the black, get it back on its spot, this is the red that's important.
4.
That frees the black spot area.
Eleven. $12. $19.
Now, does he have the angle on this red to get back to the black? Just had a look to see if the black will go to the right corner. And he thinks it goes. That's a
20.
bonus.
$27. 28. $35. Anthony McGill, 30.
Well, the red has run safe, fortunately for McGill. Could he see enough of it? Points in the game, and the let off for O'Sullivan. Wait for it. A little flick off the red.
Wow.
Well, what a fluke. Nowhere near that one.
Well, right at the start of the match, O'Sullivan fluked to red and made a winning break from it. How significant will this one be?
Oh, just crept in.
Yeah, this, as you say, had a couple of goes at going in before finally dropping. Just adding to the tension, adding to the sense of nerves in this arena. McGill 37 in front. Just mindful of that blue. It's not quite as close as he thinks.
Eight.
Yes, and a wise decision to play up for the pink. And now the perfect angle to open the reds up. If this goes right, it's going to be 4-3. It could have been easier. Can pot a red to the left corner, but
14.
difficult this to get back to the black. Just off straight, so he has got the angle and played it well. Look at that for a shot. So Anthony McGill, he's got the bit between his teeth. He knows he's well and truly back in this match.
$23.
Yes, it's got very tense all of a sudden because it's got closer.
So 60 points in the game. Just one more red needed.
30.
Yeah, it's looking like a big fluke for Anthony McGill to get in. But crucially, of course, he stayed in.
31.
And barring snookers, there's only going to be one frame in it. Well, he might have said that he didn't believe he could beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think we're seeing
38.
here that that statement is not necessarily true. He's showing great belief here,
39.
Jansen McGill. So much pressure on him on this visit. OK, it started with a fluke. That was the only lucky part.
$45. 46.
We have a match on our hands now. No question about that. O'Sullivan to go 4-1, made that
53.
139. One of the best breaks of the tournament. But a couple of misses from him. A couple of blacks he missed in the next
54.
frame. That opened the door for McGill. The fluke in this frame opened the door for McGill. And he's made it a lot closer.
61.
And another little
62.
switch to left-handed.
So, O'Sullivan having to
68.
just sit and take this. Steel himself for the next frame.
70. $73. $77.
Anthony McGill's highest break of the evening. Started with a fluke, he made the most of it.
77 and a frame.
He's made 77, and there is only one frame in what has become a very exciting match now. O'Sullivan still 2 from victory, now leading, but only 4-3. Trails Ronnie O'Sullivan 4-3, first to 6 to reach the final. Karen Wilson, perhaps watching, certainly waiting tomorrow.
I'm going to go at this red. Digging down into the cue ball. And what a great shot. What a great shot that was. It's been nearly a half an hour since he's potted a ball, and he gets down and knocks that one in. But it's not ideal on the colour. Played that very well, coming around the 2 cushions for this red into the right corner.
Yes, and it's not like he's not been here before. In 25 years as a pro, he's seen just about everything, Ronnie O'Sullivan, including, of course, that uninvited guest the other day towards the end of one of his matches. Did a lap at the table. He just coped with that. But the
5.
stakes have been raised, definitely, by McGill taking the last 2 frames.
Well, each time Anthony's broken off, he's left that red sticking out. I'm not sure, but I think Ronnie O'Sullivan's knocked it in twice. Could have been 3 times. Oh, he's got the cover. Now this is awkward.
12. Spider, yeah.
Calling for the spider.
Okay.
This is awkward.
Just touching ball line.
Very close to that red.
13.
And lost the cue ball. Desperately wanted to keep the black, the break going. He was going to take the black on. And decided to play safe.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 13.
Not the best safety shot. Cue ball should have been closer to the cushion. What about that for a pot? That's showing no fear whatsoever of Ronnie O'Sullivan. And that will come through to Ronnie.
So I was saying though earlier, you know, what was said beforehand is irrelevant compared to what actually happens once they get on the table.
Well, I did say that the safety shot wasn't good enough from O'Sullivan. But I didn't expect that red. Cue ball's close.
Oh,
Anthony
that could be a
McGill,
big
1.
mistake.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
Yeah, played the cue ball into the jaws of the pocket. Took the risk on the in-off.
Well, such a great pot, and then a big error, it would seem.
Yeah, it's a bit of pressure on O'Sullivan now. He doesn't want to go behind the blue. Don't think he's on the black. He is on the pink. That's more difficult. Oh, yes, you can see the black. So it's just choice now. Full stretch to pink. Not quite the angle he wants on the black. The crowd trying to get behind O'Sullivan.
8. Nine. $14. 15.
Yeah, he's got the angle to go into them. He's still got 2 reds he could play for. I don't think he's on anything. And you may think that at
22.
the moment things are not going for him. Normally he'd have caught the end red half ball, sent the cue ball towards the cushion, caught them too full.
Yes, it's become a real test now, a real examination. Anthony McGill has been, of course, a large part of that.
Yes, and he knows he can't afford to leave McGill anything because he's going to go for it. Just proved that the last time round.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 22.
Good safety.
So the in-off wasn't absolutely fatal, but McGill, 41 behind with red spread as he comes back to the table, has to be careful.
Well, he's got a good cue ball, but he's also got McGill in a little bit of trouble. The path back to balk, not easy. Could play off the two reds and try and avoid the other reds. He went for the pot, and he wasn't very far away from it. He's taking the game to O'Sullivan at the moment. I know he's behind in this frame. Behind in the match. But as professional snooker players, we know that the feelings that the players are going on. And we know that O'Sullivan is under pressure. Caught the red much too thick, and very fortunate not to have made contact with one of the reds there, O'Sullivan. And he's going to be going for this, McGill. And you can't see him missing. And the only thing that could come to O'Sullivan's rescue now is the brown.
This is what's left Ronnie slightly rattled. It's the fact that McGill is going for them, and of course
he's getting them.
Exactly, he's getting them. That's the key thing.
And he's not used to that, David. He's not used to the game being taken to him.
8. Nine.
Will the brown come to save him? Because I think maybe the red next to the pink. I think he'll negotiate that one. He's just counting up to see if he needs the brown. I think he does.
Yes, as if it wasn't hard enough, he's got to do a maths equation as well. He's having another little look at the scoreboard here, Anthony.
14.
Yeah, 27 points behind.
15.
Well, if he takes high colours, he may not need the brown. Then
20.
switch to left-handed again.
Yeah, it's proving
21.
effective for him, just as it is, of course, for Ronnie O'Sullivan, the switch.
$28. $29.
Now, will he play a little cannon here to the red and pink? If he catches the red, he'd definitely be on a red to the right corner. And he'll settle for that. Developing the red.
36.
Do the maths again. He's trying to do it anyway. It's not easy. He's 5 behind. If he were to take 3 reds, 3 blacks, he'd be 19 in front on the yellow. He could take 1 pink in that case, rather than the black, and not need the brown.
37.
So he's taking the blue as we reach the 2-hour mark. So he can be 22 in front with 22 on here. He takes blacks with the 2 reds.
$42.
Yeah, I think he may have miscounted there, you know, because he could have played for the pink.
Like I say, you know, as you know, Joe,
43.
the match situation is hard enough to cope with without having to try and work all that out as well.
Absolutely. I mean, the excitement, you know, is here in the box as well, and it was difficult for me to be working it out. And I'm up here. Just overscrewed that one.
50.
Needs the rest. You can bet your life that O'Sullivan had worked it out. Right in the middle.
Thank you.
So now he needs the brown by playing for the blue, and he's the wrong side of the blue slightly.
Yeah, we're coming to the crux now of this frame.
Again, I think he could have played for the black there. So maybe he has miscounted. The green is in a good spot, though, to be able to get the brown off the cushion.
Well, there's pressure on every shot. He's 15 in front.
56.
Needs yellow, green and brown.
Needs to leave himself a half-ball shot on the green. Nothing for being straight here.
58.
And that looks okay. All on this shot then. Deep breaths. Nicely played.
51.
And the way he's potting. Fancy him for this.
Anthony McGill is really showing us what he's made of here. But he's missed the brown.
Has he? Oh.
He's missed the brown. After all that hard work, he got it out off the cushion. And O'Sullivan sprints to the table, needing the 4 colours. What a moment this is.
Incredible. So left-handed. Oh, that only just dropped.
4.
But he's finished perfect on the blue.
Oh, he did all that work to get down to the brown. He got the brown out. Just needed it. And that was 4-4.
9.
What a let-off, and he knows it. He'll be kicking himself.
O'Sullivan ran to the table, seeing him miss.
15.
And now he needs the black to land a real blow here. What drama, and what a steal in the end for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Anthony McGill was throwing everything at him, just needed the brown to level the match. Missed the brown. O'Sullivan has cleared, and he leads 5-3. Brown, that would have been 4-4. O'Sullivan cleared up to lead 5-3. He needs one more, and he's in the final against Kyron Wilson tomorrow.
So the break-off from Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't leave a red out. Can Anthony McGill put that last frame out of his mind?
There was always a chance it would come down to the brown, but the thing was he'd got the brown into a potable position. That was the frustrating thing in the end. He'd done, as I say, all the hard work, so it seemed.
Yeah, what do you think, David? Do you think that he miscounted? Because he could have played for the black off the last shot.
Well, he's now behind the brown. This is the shot again, possibly, but as I say, in a way it's irrelevant because he had actually got on the brown. He just missed it. But anyway, as you say, he's now got to focus on this frame.
And he snookered. Well, if O'Sullivan does win this frame and wins 6-3, this was no way a 6-3 win. McGill was playing the better of the two up until missing that brown. But that's what this game is all about, potting the important balls, and that's not a good escape. Left a possible pot on here. Needs a big bounce.
Yeah, what he's got now is breathing space. The pressure was growing and growing, but just holding McGill at arm's length now. 2-frame lead.
Taking this more difficult yellow to get to the red. And he's overdone it.
3.
Let's not forget that this means a lot to O'Sullivan as well. Hasn't won a ranking title for nearly 2 years.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 3.
Another one, please. O'Sullivan could take this one on down the left side of the table, play for the black with some safety. Yes, he's had a look at that shot now. If he left the cue ball close to the cushion, he may not leave the other red on. Close, but he has hit it too hard. He's left the red on.
So can McGill just clear his mind? Won't be easy, of what's happened in the last few minutes and focus on what's ahead of him here. That was the reaction from O'Sullivan.
One.
Sullivan still sort of fidgeting in his chair, not entirely comfortable despite winning that last frame.
Will he go into the reds here? Decided to. Needs a bit of luck. And he got some. He's tagged the black up. Pink and blue still available.
Five.
Could have done with a little bit more angle on this pink so it could go into the reds, screw into the reds. And that's why he needed more angle to be able to go into them with more power. He's very unfortunate not to be on an easy red. Well, maybe time for a safety. Just taking the red on. And he's got it. And that would have cost him the match had that not gone in. What a great shot. It held its line all the way to the pocket just.
Well, it suggests he's thinking positively. Certainly, he was hamper queuing, but still going for his shots, despite that, as I say, that body blow in the previous frame. If he wins the match now, after what happened in the last frame, it'll be one of his best ever wins in any tournament.
18.
Possibly the best.
19.
Yeah, he expected a little kiss on the red there, which should have kept the cue ball a little nearer to the pink. He
25.
knows it's not over yet. McGill is battling.
26. $32. 33.
Well, he could play the cannon to the two reds by the pink spot, but I wouldn't recommend that because the pink would respot.
$39. 40. 46. 47.
'Well, he could have played for one of the open reds.
53.
And this is how confident he's feeling by playing for this difficult one.
54.
Well, again, he could play the cannon to those two reds, but that's the only thing that could go wrong with this shot if he plays the cannon. And it's gone wrong. He's not safe yet.
60.
No, he needs red and a colour.
Touching ball.
Still on this red to the middle. Oh,
61.
struck that so well.
Absolutely, he had every right to be in absolute bits, as in McGill after missing the brown in the last frame. But he's fought right back and made a frame-winning break in this one. And it's game on again.
67. 68.
Well, he said one of his greatest strengths was his temperament. And after watching this, I agree with him.
Well, doesn't quite get into the reds, but he's done the damage here, and you can see he's ahead on pot success now,
71.
McGill. 94% plays 93, even though he's trailing. I tell you what, that's a great break in the circumstances.
71 on the frame.
It must have been a real body blow to miss the brown in the previous frame, but he's dug deep. It's a good 71 from Anthony McGill, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is still a frame from the final, leading here 5-4 to bounce back and make a 71 break to trail 5-4. He needs 2, O'Sullivan needs 1 to play Kyron Wilson in our final tomorrow.
Now, can he break off without leaving that red sticking out? So, again, not the best break off. And again, he knocks that long red in, and he had to do because he was leaving that other red on by the middle pocket. Now, he got him first in the last frame, potted a great long red, potted the yellow, but didn't get position.
Five.
He was saying in his interview that he likes to be pushed. Well, he's being pushed.
Yes, of course, he's played fewer tournaments this season than the other top players. He's played a lot of exhibitions, which he enjoys, but you don't get anywhere near the same pressure doing that as you do in match play. So it's kind of welcome back to the big time for him. Reminder of how tough it actually is out there.
Choice of 2 reds, one to the baulk corner, one to the right corner. This one a lot tougher. Nicely done. And back in prime position.
$21. 22.
Now, will he play the shot that he normally plays and leave an angle on this red to open the reds up? He's come a little too far. He might be able to open them up.
29.
No, couldn't do it.
30.
So it's on this shot. Now, if he can miss the red directly above the black, with a lot of whiz on the cue ball. Just like that. That was superb. Missed the red directly above the black.
37.
Brought the other reds into play. There's nobody better at doing that.
$38.
Would help if the pink goes into the middle. Just lost the cue ball a little there.
44.
Wanted to be straighter on these two reds to the right and left corner. So back up for the blue.
45.
Well, Anthony McGill has broken off in this frame. That's all he's done. That might be all he does.
And I did say the last time he broke off that he'd left that red sticking out. And at least
50.
on 2 occasions, O'Sullivan's knocked it in.
Well, it's all going to be about when he develops the cluster. We know that O'Sullivan has the skill, has the nerve to close this out with a big break.
51.
Well, he's left the angle on the blue to go into them. If he can miss the pink or catch the pink half ball on the right side, like that, it should open nicely. Now, does the red go?
57.
It does. But I don't think he can get to the black unless he plays a gentle little cannon.
Just bear with me, Ronnie. Blue, not green, pink. Thank you.
Well, there's a query about the score on the scoreboard.
Thank you.
Just been corrected.
That's the gentle little
57.
cannon I was talking about. That could have gone wrong.
Well, I mentioned the skill and the nerve. What he also has is the desire. Make no mistake, Ronnie O'Sullivan is as competitive as
64.
anybody. He wouldn't have won all those titles if he hadn't been. And he has
65.
stepped in and stepped up his game at just the right moment here. Anthony McGill has broken off. That's all he's done. And it looks like it's over.
Well, we talk about his character,
72.
but O'Sullivan has got bundles of it.
73.
Yes, had it gone 4-4, it would have been interesting to see then how he had responded, but even so, this is a faultless way to finish.
80.
And what he said in the interview is quite correct. He likes to be pushed,
81.
and he wants to raise his game when he is pushed. Well, doesn't get better than this, does it?
No, he's had a great tournament. He's played so well this week, Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he's going to be in the final against Kyron Wilson, a fine match player in his own right, who I know Ronnie O'Sullivan has a lot of respect for.
88. 89.
One to really look forward to tomorrow. And apt for the English Open. It's 2 Englishmen playing for the Steve Davis Trophy. And he's going to finish, it would seem, with a century, as if the last
96.
half an hour or so had just been a walk in the park. It hadn't been, he was under pressure. But this is
97.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. What a player he still is.
Superb. And the crowd have thoroughly enjoyed this match.
102.
Yeah, he was pushed,
103.
but he responded here. Just needed one chance, one visit in the last frame, and he's made a century to kill it off. It'll be his 43rd World Ranking Event final, looking for his 29th title tomorrow.
106. 108. Thank you.
Yes, he can be proud of himself. He's done so well this evening, Anthony McGill.
Yeah, the Brown was a big moment. It would have been
111.
4-4, but his head didn't drop. He came out next frame, made a 71. Unfortunately for him, though, he only had one shot in this frame, left a red sticking out, and that was that.
115.
O'Sullivan has made here his 889th career century. I correct myself,
120.
890th. He made one earlier, the 139. But it's either way, it's a fantastic way to finish. And they're still going in. from the cue of surely the greatest player ever. Ronnie O'Sullivan into another final, a 133 total clearance from his first chance in the last frame. Warm words there for Anthony McGill, who played his part in a thriller here this evening, but it's Ronnie O'Sullivan to play Kyron Wilson in the final, and look how happy he is as he leaves the arena. He is delighted to be through. He had to work for it, but he got the reward after an absorbing evening snooker here in Barnsley. Ronnie O'Sullivan has beaten Anthony McGill by 6 frames to 4.